Two-stroke engines are insane. That's the word I'm using and I'm sticking with it. They are insane. Two strokes have a ridiculous power band. It's like a light switch. You go from having very little low-end power all the way to having a rip your arms off power in the blink of an eye. Two strokes are able to achieve this because they fire on every revolution opposed to every other revolution like a four-stroke. So they rev quickly, they deliver power fast, the back wheel tears apart whatever is underneath it, and the front wheel says hello to the clouds. Now, most of us know about two-strokes. We see them mainly on dirt bikes such as the YZ125, a good entry-level dirt bike into the insanity that is two-stroke. Even a YZ125 will compete against the 250cc four-stroke bikes. Now, a 125 dirt bike is pretty standard. You can even pick up a 250cc two-stroke. However, back in the day, companies were making 500cc two-stroke bikes. Some of the bikes in this category would be the CR500, the KX500, the RM500, and the YZ490. Check out this dyno graph from a CR500. You can see that up until about 5,000 RPM, the bike isn't doing much. I mean, there is some power, but once it hits 6,000 RPM, it really skyrockets in the horsepower department, just topping out at around 86 horsepower. These bikes were very far ahead of their time and injured many riders. This was a machine that made the modern day leader bikes look like an innocent puppy dog. It was so insane and people loved the motor so much that they are taking them and putting them into modern chassis and racing them still today. It's awesome to see these bikes in action. Funny enough, I'd be willing to ride just about any bike, even something as insane as a supercharged Ninja H2, but I can't say I would volunteer myself to be a test pilot on a CR500 or a KX500 because that is just plain suicide. Next is the Mako 700. Just when I said that 500cc two-strokes were dead, well, they pretty much are, but the Mako 700 is a street-legal 685cc two-stroke. There is a dual sport version and a supermoto version. The 700 makes a screaming 82 horsepower. I love how the Mako is a modern reflection of the older 500s. It's insane, ridiculous, and amazing all at the same time, and it's a flipping supermoto too. Okay, so enough about dirt bikes and supermotos. Where are the sport bikes? Surprisingly enough, throughout the 70s and 90s, there was a large number of sport bikes that were also two-strokes. Before we talk about any of those bikes, it would be insulting to not mention the Kawasaki H2. No, not that one. The real H2, the 1970s version, otherwise known as the Mach 4. The original H2 was no joke. Powered by a 748cc triple-cylinder air-cooled engine, the H2 was able to do a quarter-mile time in 12.4 seconds. This was seriously fast for 1972. This bike got the nickname Widowmaker, and for a very good reason. The engine was too quick for its time, and the brake, tire, and suspension technology was not up to par with the speed of the engine, resulting in many crashes and fatalities. Okay, I promised you guys sport bikes, so I'll make you wait no longer. Let's move on to the Honda NSR250R from the 90s. Being a 249cc liquid-cooled two-stroke 90-degree V-twin cranking out 57 horsepower and only weighing 330 pounds wet, this bike sounds like some serious amount of fun. The Honda NSR250 wasn't the only NSR bike out there. Honda also produced the NSR 500, which was a much more powerful beast altogether. Designed in the 1980s, the NSR 500 was a fire-breathing V4 growling beast. You heard that right, a V4 499cc two-stroke machine once roamed the streets, well, the track at least. Through revisions in the 1990s, the NSR could produce over 200 horsepower out of a 500cc bike. That is so cool. MotoGP rider Nick Doohan, an Australian racer for Honda in the 90s, used the NSR 500 in its engine to win 5 of the first 7 500 Grand Prix races of 1992. And continuing in 1994, Mick won 5 consecutive 500cc World Championships, winning an astonishing 12 out of 15 races. He broke a single season record. No man or machine in modern history has ever dominated the 500 World Championships so thoroughly. Now, lucky for us, there was another 500cc two-stroke designed by Honda as well, only this one wasn't a V4, this one was a V3. A bike with a 500cc V3 two-stroke engine known to us as the NS500. Interestingly enough, the NS500 actually predates the NSR 500. Produced only from 1982 to 1983 until the NSR 500 succeeded it, it was still a very cool design. Now, as successful as the NSR 250R and NSR 500 were, not all of these two-stroke bikes were successful. In fact, the Bimota V2 was a complete failure. The V2 is a 499cc V-twin two-stroke produced in 1997. Bimota only made a handful of these and none were street legal. Bimota had struggled with reliability problems with the electronic fuel injection and had to abandon it and revert back to carburetors. It was too late though, as they had missed the World Superbike race season and investors pulled out, leaving Bimota to forcefully shut their doors in 2001, until 2003 when a group of investors rekindled the life in the Bimota and brought them back. The V2 is notorious for killing Bimota in a way only a two-stroke could. Back to a more happier note, I would like to tell you guys about the Ronix 500. The Ronix 500 is an 80-degree V4 that is street legal, produces 160 horsepower at 11,500 RPM, and costs over $100,000. Of course, this is a bike that's really only available for a select few of us, but it is still really cool that Ronix is offering a street legal race bike for us commoners to at least sit back and admire from afar. Many might consider two-strokes a thing of the past, but as shown in this video, some bikes like the Mako 700 and the Ronix 500 are still being produced even today. And on a happy note, Honda and KTM have both registered patents for direct injection two-stroke engines. Honda registered their patent in 2015, but we have yet to see any productions from it. However, these things tend to take a while. I bet we will start seeing some results in the near future. I know in this video I wasn't able to cover every single two-stroke motorcycle out there, including some really cool ones, but in the interest of time, I had to make some tough decisions and only talk about a handful. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please remember to leave a like and make sure you subscribe for more motorcycle related content. Thank you so much for watching, take care, and bye bye.